It's not what goes into the person that causes them to become unclean. It's what comes out of the heart, which is important. And so this morning, I just want to remind us. First, I'm reminding myself that in every situation, let your intentions be be pure in terms of how you deal with your brother man. I keep reflecting on what late Robert Nesta Marley wrote in it. Man to man can be so unjust. Can you be just in your dealings with your wife? Can you be just in your dealings with your children? Can you be just in your dealings with your neighbor? Can you be just in your dealings with your co-worker? Because that should be your intention. Am I being just? Is it fair? Is it right in regards to it? Am I speaking good about my neighbor in their absence? So it is so very important that we do that and we continue to do that, because we can become holy as he is holy.
The standard, however, and always worth remembering this, that the standard of justice and doing right by this one or that one, the standard is to be in alignment with the heart of the Creator. Many times we do things which in our own imagination we are confident that this is the right thing, this is the just and the fair and the reasonable thing. But you really can't measure it against the standards of the world or the standards of the neighbor or the standard of the individual whom you are addressing. You have to reach to that higher level and align yourself with the standards set by God. The justice of God, the knowledge and the wisdom of God are your highest ideals. That's what we reach for when we set up a constitution that guarantees people certain things. You are seeking to be in alignment with the highest principles of justice, and it don't come better than from the throne of God. I'm emphasizing it because Jesus telling people to turn the other cheek and to forgive 70 times 7 and to love your enemies was considered to be revolutionary. It was revolutionary only because it ran counter to the instinctive reaction of human beings based on what they see each other do. In other words, it was a revolutionary move away from the standards of the world. So the call to holiness, which is the call to emulate the attitudes, the behaviors, the principles of your Creator, is the same call that Jesus was repeating when he said, love your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying if someone smacks you on the cheek, your instinct is going to say, hit him back.
Yeah, man,
and even though the Old Testament say if he give you one blow, you should only give him one blow.
The proportionality that you spoke about.
Absolutely. That was so that we wouldn't get carried away in our rage and our sense of injustice and violation. So, for example, the mother of the child the 9-year-old girl who was taken and raped and murdered viciously, she says the person who carried out that activity should get the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
This is her grief expressing itself, her anger, and she has every right to be grief-stricken and to be angry and to feel the need for justice to be delivered in relation to the death of her child. Mm-hmm. But now, if she had a conversation with Jesus concerning how is this to be resolved, he would say to her, vengeance is mine, I will repay. Give me your grief and your anger and your rage, and let me, as your intermediary, your intercessor, let me speak to the Father so he can address it for you and take away the feeling that you have as one woman in a country where worse things are happening every day. You know that? How would this one woman seek to extract justice for the death of her child. When she goes into the court system and perhaps the man whom they have in hand as the perpetrator, he may be acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
May not be him.
Mm-hmm.
Or it may be him,
Mhm.
and for technical reasons,
He's acquitted.
he's acquitted.
So what does she do?
What does she do?
Continue to stay in the rage and the unforgiveness?
There you go. So, it's interesting. I am pushing that envelope this morning because I look and I see on the headline, plot twist. JTA president-elect inks wage deal as Harrison pulls out of signing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple of things are going on there. One, we need leaders who believe in the causes that they support to fight to the last to bring home the victory that you are seeking. You need leaders like LaSonja Harrison for whom it is a cause. It's not just a duty that you carry out because you are sitting in the chair. She believes in what she's doing. We're talking about purity now. Her spirit, her heart, what she has fought for, couldn't allow her to sign a document, even though the rules of her organization and the duty that's cast upon her gives her that responsibility because they voted in a democratic process, and that process produced a result which, based on the rules of her organization, should be carried out as the will of the people whom she serves. But as an individual who is accountable for her actions, her heart, her spirit saw that this is not what I was fighting to get. I cannot sign it.
And this probably, in all fairness, is not the best thing for the people. We
Listen,
love to have a conversation here.
You don't have to guess if it's not the best thing for the people, It is a negotiated result. That's why yesterday I said you have to stable the horses. And it's hard. It's easier said than done. Once you've got to the point where your people say, we'll take this, you yourself have to know how to be graceful in doing whatever is politically expedient. But guess what? There are some of us, it's not many people got fashioned like that. The ones who really change things in the world don't have that in them to say, I'll do what is politically expedient. There are a handful of us, I count myself amongst them, where for some things you go with principle from the heart of God or you don't leave your house. So this lady, when it came down to the moment, she removed herself from the room so that the president-elect, who has the legal authority, I am told, could do what the democratic process
and it is in the
required.
memorandum of understanding. So she deliberately absented herself and said,
Yes.
are you?
Because in her absence, someone else can sign.
Yes.
And
but if she was present in the room, he couldn't sign.
He couldn't sign.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see the rule of law running its course, but you see the higher law, the spirit of what she was seeking to do. And these are important moments and important events in the life of a country or an organization that people have to.
I've known of people. I've stepped down because of principle.
Of course, situation. You must be able to do that if you are seeking to be holy, as your Father in heaven is holy. It cannot sit in your stomach, it not in your conscience. You would feel you have betrayed your own integrity to move in certain directions. It's like when I said I'm not appealing to the Privy Council. I could never, in this stage of my life,
and context and everything, I couldn't
appeal. It doesn't matter what it cost me.
But you said no. You said
Every day somebody said to me, "Why didn't you appeal?" To this moment, lawyers are asking me, "Why didn't you appeal? This is wrong. That is wrong. The law is clear."
And there's a.
If I don't believe in it, I can't do it.
You never know. This morning I was no, because it just opens up for us. I have been reflecting on the fathers of faith.
Yes.
the fathers of faith. That great passage in Hebrews 12, and it says that a lot of them
never saw or
never
received
saw,
what they believed in.
but they believed and they died. They believed in the principle and were willing to give up what people have said was the most important thing to them. But Jesus says, you've got it wrong. It is in your giving that you ultimately will gain, because there is a bigger principle involved, a higher power that you believe that you're holding yourself accountable to, that you're going to have to respond to, because you're going to have to give account. And that is something for me personally, even in discussions with those I interact with, my wife and my children, and I say, at the end of the day, you remember that what you have been given, you're gonna have to give an account for it. And let it not be said that you never walked according to purpose and fulfill your destiny. Just keep pushing. The principle is the most important thing. And even as we're there, I'm reflecting on things that continue to happen. When Jesus says, you can't serve God or mammon, you can't serve both of them. And I often have reflected on why would he say that he can't serve both? Because ultimately one is going to suffer. And if you are a person who believes in the accountability principle, and that at some point in time, you're going to have to give account. You have to make a decision. And I think a lot of people now are having buyer's remorse in terms of things that they have given their principles for, and said, but it wasn't really worth it. Wow.
Yeah.
I applaud the lady. I was remember we've had her on 2 occasions.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I feel her spirit.
Yeah.
And she's done the right thing. Yesterday, I mentioned the scripture that whatever is not of faith is sin.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe that this reflects the best that can be done, and even if you don't believe that your people chose in their right mind, if you think is a cop out because people are just trying to take an easy road out,
yeah,
you do the right thing that fits with you, but you don't. And this is the fine balance that
you have to.
one always has to.
That's why you need the wisdom of God. You need to know.
You don't frustrate others in running over the cliff. Let them run. Some people need to die so that the righteous can rise up. But in terms of how she handled it, it's like a dissenting judgment. And I'm looking at a horrible, I'm looking at something here. We'll talk about it. But when you go to the Court of Appeal, any court that has more than one judge and a decision is to be, I should in this case say more than 2 judges, because in order for you to have a result, you need to have like a 3 or 5. Yeah. Whenever one judge is not in agreement with what the majority are saying, they have the opportunity to write a dissenting judgment. Dissenting judgments are usually at the tip of the spear for change, because the dissenting voice is usually saying, I see what the others are saying, and I know that the law could produce that kind of result. But in my view, the situation requires a different result. A dissenting judgment can dissent on a point of law, same result, but arrived at by a different pathway. Or it can give you a different result. But whenever you get a dissenting judgment, you can expect lawyers, citizens who are studying that area to use it as the battering ram to bring about change in an area. So what President Harrison has done and the basis on which she did it will become the foundation for a further push in the future. So she has done her best, I think, by her organization, by boldly coming out and saying what she thinks, so that in the next round, someone can pick it up and push for better. Yesterday I was saying in a negotiation, the best negotiation gives something to both sides, but you will not have everybody getting all that they want. If that were so, there'd be no dispute. It would never result, there'd never be a conflict. But when you find a negotiation close with some sort of mutual accommodation, it means that somebody didn't get all that they want, and therefore it is safe. You leave that for round two. The comment time, the headline I saw that we'll just talk about it for a minute or two, because as we look at issues of identity and even the valuation that you place on a Jamaican, I've been saying and pushing the listeners and others who carry the same spirit, off radio, on air, off air, I say the same thing. We need to give some serious thought to the value we place on ourselves and each other.
True.
I was very disturbed by the decision of the court, which pretty much gave zero as loss of future earnings to a young man who was on the cusp of life. At the time, I did the research and saw that in today's money, or in 2021's money, a slave, a man who had no career, no prospects, worked under the whip, was worth $14,000 in today's money, or near today's money. This morning we see a headline that says Court of Appeal slashes award to man beaten in police custody. Do you remember? It's a man who was believed to be gay, and while he was in police custody, the homophobes attacked him. And he got an award.
Fish, but remember the one that they said
that this is what we do to fish and try to fry him.
But it's a different case.
This is a different one.
It's a different case.
This is a different one.
Yeah.
All right. The man got an award of $5 million. $5 million in US currency would be what, Percy? You do the math.
At the present exchange rate?
At the present exchange rate.
About 30,000.
He got an award of $5 million.
So it's about 30,000 US.
And the let me tell you how it was. He was awarded $1.5 million for general damages for false imprisonment, meaning the police had no reasonable cause to have him in prison. And he was given $3 million in general damages for breach of his constitutional right to protection from inhuman and degrading treatment. And that's the one I want to track. The $3 million for breach of his constitutional right. The appeal court...
Treat out.
$3 million. The appeal court canceled a $450 award he got for it's called Vindicatory Award. Let's not even be mindful of that one. They set aside the $3 million constitutional award and replaced it with an award for $500,000 plus interest. You see, like that kind of move now? One of them judges in the Constitutional Court should suffer as he did and see what they think their suffering would be worth, what they think their constitutional rights would be worth.
Who are the judges sitting? They're not mentioned.
It's not there, but I can find it and show you separately. I don't even the facts of it. No two set of facts are alike. So even while you are being mindful of precedent and previous awards, your constitutional, the value placed on these constitutional rights. Mm-hmm. I was in another place saying that for every right that the Constitution guarantees, our administration of justice should develop a mechanism to protect it and to allow persons to seek for the enforcement of it. But if these rights are worth $500,000, I cannot think what constitutional right could be violated and elicit an award of $500,000. $500,000 is what? Is it it's like what, 2,000 US maybe?
About 3,000 US.
No, not as much as three, you think?
Yeah,
No,
because
not
I'm
as much
using
as
150. So 1,000 US is 150,000 Jamaican. About $3,000, if so much. Yeah.
For your constitutional right.
Yes, it's not worth
What is
anything.
that? It's not worth anything.
Not worth anything at all.
And you wonder when judgments are, it's one of the reasons, why I am calling for wholesale reform of how we handle these matters. We cannot keep doing precedent-based awards. Oh, the man before got this. The man before was a slave.
Yeah, and
There's no point in Jamaica's history where the man before is going to be treated as anything but someone of no value, subhuman, an animal to be subjected to every kind of degrading treatment. It's a disgrace that you see headlines like this in this day and age. Let's take our break. It's 7:01.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
The government has announced plans to modernize several of the Tax Administration of Jamaica TAJ offices across the island to meet the growing demand of the public. The scope of work includes the expansion of parking facilities, providing larger office areas, and the addition of new services in several locations. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, provided an overview of the work to be done in his budget debate presentation in the House of Representatives on March 7. Here's an excerpt of his presentation.
Madam Speaker, all adult Jamaicans interact with the tax office, who deliver collection services of taxes, licenses, fees to the public. We can improve quality of life by improving that interaction, by making it more comfortable and more efficient, Madam Speaker. We can do so by investing in technology to allow more services to be delivered online. But we can also improve the network of tax offices across the country. Most of our tax offices were built a long time ago for a smaller population, far fewer transactions, and at a time with far fewer cars. And hence our tax offices suffer from a lack of parking. Madam Speaker, over a number of years, we plan to upgrade tax offices across the country to provide more comfortable, timely, efficient service. 2 weeks ago, Madam Speaker, I broke ground on the Christiana Tax Office, which will provide a modern facility with green space, adequate parking, generator, and others. We are in development of the Montego Bay Tax Office, Madam Speaker, to upgrade to a Montego Bay Revenue Service Center, Madam Speaker, in the upcoming fiscal year. This tax office will feature the first ever drive-through teller at a tax office in Jamaica. It will be used for taxpayers in a hurry, taxpayers who have mobility issues, who are young or have children in the car and can't leave the kids in the car. Thoughtful design, Madam Speaker, for a new era. The building is designed, Madam Speaker, for customer comfort. A new customer service hall which takes, Madam Speaker, into account the reality that many Jamaicans live with disabilities. In a few months, TAJ also plans to build out the interior of the new Mandeville Revenue Service Center, which, if all goes well, comes into service in the 24-25 year. We're also purchased land for the construction of a new tax office in Brownstown, St. Anne, to have construction begin in the 24-25 year. So everybody in Kingston say, wait a minute, all that talk about tax office outside, one for Kingston. Madam Speaker, King Street is the largest tax office in Jamaica, measured by volume of transactions. The volume of business there today far outstrips capacity. Persons have to traverse the stairs multiple times in a single visit. So frustrating to get their business done. They have to go upstairs, downstairs, go. In addition, it's regularly overcrowded. I'm pleased to announce that TAJ has acquired the BNS building on King Street, which was previously BNS's head office, and which is a marquee building in Kingston. Every picture of old time Jamaica features that building. And we're going to work with the Minister of Local Government to make sure that we have parking in the area. TAJ, Madam Speaker, will keep the external facade of the building, but will remodel the interiors to meet modern functional flow of a tax office. The office will be used to relocate taxpayer services, cashiering, TRN, general info, driver's license compliance from the current King Street location. And it's going through the design phases now for work to start in 2024 for it to be available to the public in 2025. Now we have to make sure that those timelines are met. TAJ, in collaboration with the UDC and the municipal authority, will work on the parking. Now, Madam Speaker, the Crossroads Tax Office accounts for a large volume of transactions, and the size and layout is not suitable for the current load. TAJ, Madam Speaker, is planning on building a 10-story Crossroads Tax Office and Business Center with 3 floors of parking to meet the growing needs of citizens. Now, this one is greenfield, right? We're now in the planning and finalizing the drawings. We have some work to do with the National Works Agency, right? And need some negotiations there to get the final submissions and approvals. These are some of the upgrades and modernization projects.
Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, providing an overview of the renovation work planned for several TAJ locations across the island in the upcoming financial year.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Best 100 FM, broadcasting live in all 14 parishes. Hanover 100.5, 100.9. St. James 100.9. Trelawney 100.3, 100.9. St. Anne 100.3, 100.5. St. Mary 100.5. Westmoreland 100.1, 100.5. St. Elizabeth 100.1, 100.5. Manchester 100.1, 100.5. Clarendon 100.1, 100.5, 100.9. St. Catherine 100.5, 100.9. St. Andrew 100.5, 100.9. St. Thomas 100.5 and 100.9. Best FM, giving you the better vibe.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM, keep visiting.
This parenting tip is brought to you by Best 100 FM. What you do matters. This is one of the most important principles. What you do makes a difference. Your kids are watching you. Don't react on the spur of the moment. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? And is this likely to produce the result? Remember, good parenting helps foster empathy, honesty, self-reliance, self-control, kindness, cooperation, and cheerfulness. This parenting tip was brought to you by Best 100 FM, giving you the better vibe.
Need a package delivered? Give Via Express Courier and Shipping a call. We have secure and efficient island-wide delivery at competitive rates. Same day and next day delivery are also available with 32 pickup and drop-off locations island-wide. We offer the most accessible courier services. Contact us now at 876-499-2621 or 876-499-2554 or visit our website at myviaexpress.com. Or visit one of our 32 locations across the island. Choose Via Express Courier and Shipping for your everyday and island-wide shipping.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-365 659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree. 130, 200, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Boy.
Welcome back, boy.
Boy. I say boy, you know. You're wondering about the state of things and you're saying, we found the judgment and I just reading it. $3 million should have stayed.
The $3 million should have been increased.
Yeah.
The judges are all in agreement that the purpose of awarding damages for a breach of your constitutional right is to reflect the sense of public outrage, emphasize the importance of the constitutional right and the gravity of the breach, and deter further breaches.
Mm-hmm.
The man got $3 million because he had been taken in by the police in relation to whatever complaint. He was arrested. Whilst in custody, he was beaten.
Mm-hmm.
He was taken to the hospital for treatment where he was left handcuffed to his bed in plain view of everybody because you know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
He was humiliated and embarrassed in the course of it. All this because he was beaten in prison. If he had not been beaten in prison, he would have stayed in prison and go through the process. The breach that was complained of whilst in police custody, which is supposed to be a safe place.
Yeah.
I say it laughingly.
No, but
you can't be in police custody and be assaulted and terrorized and beaten. And we know that people have been beaten to death in police custody.
Remember Barrett?
Agana Barrett. How do we show in money
that it is not acceptable?
That it's not acceptable. What is the level of public outrage that you are reflecting when you make an award of $3 million and cut it down to $500,000? You're not very outraged.
No, but you're not very sensitive to that poor gentleman.
You don't think the breach is a grave one? You're not awarding money that will deter further breaches. How do you deter further breaches? You now, by the size of the award you make, would be saying policemen who don't run the affairs in the station so that this is prevented, you're going to pay too.
Because one of the things is, and it's something that we probably need to follow up on. All of these things happening in police stations, and there's a public outcry, then you don't hear nothing again, and you wonder if the incident or the individual that caused for the outcry from the public about what is happening, if they have really done the work of renovating, fixing the place, watching their procedures to ensure that it don't happen again. But it seemed to be a recurring decimal. So therefore the policeman them say, well, it's not a major thing, so we just continue on. And therefore, you ever been into the police stations in terms of the holding areas and so much people in like half a tree?
Yeah, I had to go down there once too. Yeah. There's no, but you see, what happened now is that when the courts treat matters like this in the way they have done, they're signaling that the very low standards that apply in the
costing you put to the birth to the
yeah,
incident.
that's acceptable. That's what we're worth. That's what we're about.
Yeah.
In other words, I mean, I've seen the Constitutional Court refer to a prisoner's complaint about mistreatment in terms of his diet and access to medical care, and the judgment kind of said the man think him there spa for wanting to receive nutritious meals, for wanting to receive a diet that is mindful of his diabetic condition and so on, for wanting to go to the doctor on as needed to care for the condition for his medical condition. The attitude of the Constitutional Court is that no, we can't afford to give you that. That was kind of the attitude, not even looking at it to say we should be pushing to give the best on a humanitarian level. No.
Because they are violent producers.
Yes, man. We're still dirty black people coming off of the plantation without any kind of...
They're not Jamaicans. They're not Jamaicans.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons that I, for one, feel like the administration of justice in Jamaica is woefully in need of severe... You see where sometimes we talk about prescribing things so that people know what to do and how to follow it. This is one of the areas, and we're at that period in our history where in order for us to step up the game, we can't keep looking back at what was done yesterday. We have to set a new standard, write it on tablets. We have to write it down and say, all right, these are the standards to be applied.
For every Jamaican.
Everybody. And we practice it until it becomes second nature, and we are teaching it to our children. Right now, we are still carrying too much of yesterday's baggage where we were worth nothing.
Because when you
$500,000, you're in a lockup and people beat you until it... Oh, come on.
Early in the 90s, I did some work in the General Penitentiary. Working with prisoners, and when you saw the conditions, you're going, really? When they described it, you're going, really? They are no longer considered to be human. And it was about rehabilitation, that if somebody went in for something, they would come out and would have understood the consequences of what they, and therefore be moving to a life. Say, I don't want to go back there. But the conditions not conducive for that.
Yeah.
When I cell that you're supposed to have one person or four. No, so.
Well, today the judge below who gave the $5 million award accepted, and I think those who are differently oriented should be pleased that the Jamaican courts can produce this result in today's world. The judge accepted that it was a violation of the man's right for the police to ridicule him as a supposed homosexual. This was the one act in respect of which they said the man was entitled to protection from cruel and inhumane treatment. He did not, this is the conduct. The conduct he found to constitute a breach of the respondent's right to protection from cruel and inhumane treatment was based on his acceptance of the uncontradicted evidence that the respondent was ridiculed by police personnel on the basis that he was deemed by them to be a homosexual. The learned judge accepted that the respondent didn't deny or confirm his homosexuality. However, the judge concluded that that was immaterial. He said, to subject someone to ridicule or dislike by anyone else, or to disclose someone's personal sexual orientation so as to expose someone to the likelihood of ridicule in circumstances where it is wholly unnecessary to do so as a police officer is, to my mind, inhumane. It is inhumane because it is significantly worse than anything which can properly be considered as even barely decent. In other words, such treatment was so bad that it would only serve to outrage standards of decency. In a Jamaican court, a judge accepted and found that to ridicule someone because of their homosexuality is inhumane.
Mhm.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is correct and decent. Don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
No, but think of how we are accused of being homophobic and of being violent and so on, and even think of how attempts to remove buggery as a criminal offense are being met and so on. The court is signaling that, as you say, decent. They're signaling decency, decent behavior. That being so, and the man having been treated in this way in police custody, when it came now to the time to say, what is it worth? How do you compensate him for the outrageous treatment to which he was subjected? The judge who heard the evidence, saw the witnesses and so on, said $3 million. And 3 Court of Appeal judges said $500,000. That's where we are. But maybe one would say we have stepped up a little bit from the zero.
Yeah, because there's a case in which there is a zero.
A zero. Wasn't a constitutional, wasn't a case about breach of constitutional rights, but someone who died in police custody as a result of a beating obtained while in police custody. I guess that, well, zero for loss of future earnings because he was worth nothing. At least this man got $500,000. But there was a judge prepared to give $3 million. And the fact that our own Court of Appeal, 3 of them sitting there, came to that conclusion. And I cannot help but feel that somewhere in it, there is a looking at who the man was. Because I don't know that a highly placed Jamaican of a different ethnic background or professional training would have got $500,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The more somebody said, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Which is why I'm in agreement with you. We can't use the past as precedent for where we need to go. We need to be bold and to determine this is what we want for ourselves as Jamaican, what we want for ourselves in terms of our legal system, and say this is where it is at. And there are some good things we can borrow from our neighbors up the north in terms of how they deal with cases like that. You think? What do you think in terms of putting greater value
to the human experience,
right,
as it applies to Jamaicans in this place? Yes, we have to put greater value to it. And you know what, to Percy? When you minimize the value of our experience in one area,
it spreads.
You minimize it in all.
It's like ripple effect.
Yes. Do you remember Mr. Crawford on the program here saying, we're talking about art and culture and
right.
And he was saying that,
Hello, Vivian, how are you?
Yes, good morning. You know he's retired.
Yes, I know he's retired.
And I think that means he has more time for us.
Yes.
So I haven't reached out to him yet, but good morning. And he was saying when we do our scribblings and from school, and it ends up in the dump. It's not art to be treasured and framed and kept. You know, as a consequence, your artistic output in one arena, garbage. Your creative output, whether it is through your work or whatever it is you do, people want to take it for free. Which is why the teachers and the doctors and the civil servants are
not valued.
at odds with the government about how they are to be paid.
But if they bring in a consultant,
oh my goodness,
and let's bring in a special advisor.
I told you, a friend of mine said to me when her firm is bidding for government work, they better find a foreigner.
Because if they don't, now get the work.
If all you're relying on is Jamaican consultants, not good enough.
You know, which reminds me, I wanted to go to SVL. SLV, I said go.
Which one is that?
The one that is in the news. The one
SSL?
SSL, yes.
Mine SVL too, you know, because they're quite solvent.
You understand? I was just thinking about it. Don't we have persons in Jamaica who are trained in forensic who could have gone in and done the
Percy, we do. But I want you to remember that some of the experts who we see announcement that we have hired experts. We don't hire them. They are imposed on us by virtue of our wrongdoing.
But there seems to be some confusion as to whether FBI is involved or not. Because I'm saying if you have FBI, they have all the expertise to do the forensic and whatever. So why do you need to hire somebody out of London to come and do that?
And so you hear me again. Some of the people who are announced as being hired,
they were imposed on us.
They're imposed on us. That is my belief. I do not accept that we are necessarily going to foreign sources to get expertise that's available here. But mind you, this is a situation. If there's one situation that requires outside help, this would be one of them, because sometimes people are in situations of conflict within the country.
And that would be I could understand.
Yeah, sometimes there are such situations of conflict that you can't credibly engage a local person without risking either word getting out about things, because we talk so much.
We're
leaky
so small.
Ship. Yeah, this is a leaky ship.
We could go to any rum bar and get what's happening in the latest
Right. Let me tell you, as you know, we have a caller who seems to be like, you know, a spy in the room. And he tell you, and I remember Neville used to say, when he would come and announce things that came out of cabinet meeting. Yeah. How is that happening? The meetings of the cabinet are amongst the most secretive affairs in the country. That's not supposed to. Ordinary citizen not supposed to tell you, say, cabinet meeting just finished and this is what was decided. No.
See me like you have serious decisions. I don't know if the producer has had that experience in his professional life in terms of serious business, and you hear about it and then you hear the rum bar talk. You ever hear them talk, it man a run joke and them say rum bar talk that? You understand what me I talk about? So some serious things happen. But a lot of the times, decisions are made about major things in this country in the rum bar. The bar talk, yeah. But anyway. But you've raised an important point. So we probably should do some investigation in terms of this firm and what do they really bring to the table in terms of... and you know what is happening too? This thing is just stretching. So 2 years on, you'll hear, okay. So what about, I have a friend who was in that and she lost $3 million.
One of the ways that other jurisdictions that are more serious about maintaining the right appearance of justice,
yes,
you must have some kind of arrest prosecution within X period of time from the event. Something big happen, law enforcement is on a clock, because the comfort of the citizen and the confidence in the state's ability to respond to these atrocities is at issue. Every time one of these things happen, your credibility is on the table. So in jurisdictions where these things are taken more seriously, because we not take them serious here, you have a massive drug find at an international airport and going on almost a year now.
September, yeah.
Yeah, it's September 2022.
Yes.
It's not quite a year, but you
6 months
you don't
gone.
even hear word of the investigation. In other jurisdictions, there would be press conferences on a rotation, keeping the citizen updated.
COVID was on
the
rotation,
thing.
man.
Like, like
COVID was on rotation.
You had to live with a dashboard, a perpetual dashboard of COVID. It turn on the TV, there's something.
If this is serious.
If it is serious, it gets serious attention. You have major things happening in the country, and you hear there's like a flurry of activity around it, and then nothing.
So people say it's 9-day wonder.
Becomes a 9-day wonder, and that's expected. But a lot of times, what you have are state agencies addressing problems arising in other parts of the state, and you know that there's no incentive to expose truth or to address it in a way that's satisfactory. And by the way, somebody needs to sing happy birthday for Wayne. 47 years ago, the world was blessed by the arrival of a beautiful baby boy.
Hey.
All right, we'll take our break and then
come back and sing happy
back
birthday to Wayne.
Who's singing for Wayne? Lord, I think it's you.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clyde Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Best 100 FM. It's redemption time.
Need a package delivered? Give via Express Courier and Shipping a call. We have secure and efficient island-wide delivery at competitive rates. Same day and next day delivery are also available with 32 pickup and drop-off locations island-wide. We offer the most accessible courier services. Contact us now at 876-499-2621 or 876-499-2554 or visit our website at myviaexpress.com or visit one of our 32 locations across the island. Choose Via Express Courier and Shipping for your everyday and island-wide shipping.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Jam Auto Parts is your solution. Jam at the new and convenient location of Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Now Jam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Now Jam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy.
Half a tree, half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. We continue to review what happened in that judgment in regards to that young man. But there is, and this is my simple position, there needs to be a break from past in order to chart the course for the future. And we now have to be bold and innovative in terms of our actions, in terms of speaking about the future that we want. And that is what repentance is about. It is saying, this thing hasn't worked, I've done wrong, and I'm making a 180-degree turn. So if I'm going in this direction, it's not working, I'm going opposite and moving forward with that. That's what it's about, because a lot of the things that we've had hasn't really produced for us as a people, as a nation, the things that are necessary in terms of the overall prosperity and well-being of every single Jamaican. Not just a few, but in terms of the majority of Jamaicans who are here. Somebody sent me a video, and it was about the eviction. It was a nursing home, and they evicted the persons, and the old, it's elderly people, and they're on the...
They put them on the curb.
And I'm saying...
Oh, which heart would do that?
Yeah,
and you see,
understand
we're going full circle to the issue of purity and holiness, with which we started the morning. Because
you need a place and about good God, man. Jeez.
But if you have a heart that is in alignment with the standards set by God for how we treat one another, and if you are truly holding to the principle that says, I must treat this person the way I would want to be treated, would you want someone to put you out like that? No matter how much you need your place? Would you, even the judges, when they are making their decisions and saying things like, oh, it's not worth more than this or that, would you want to be told that your experience is devoid of value, or it's worth next to nothing? Those are questions, and those are not unreasonable or irrelevant considerations in anything that we're doing. See, that's the standard of purity and holiness. There is never a time when we embark on any activity from which God should be absent. It doesn't matter that you are a policeman carrying out functions of the state.
Could you please repeat that statement for me?
Yes.
I think...
this is a haul and pull up moment.
Yes. Wheel and come again.
A wheel and come again moment. There is never any activity on which we should embark from which God is absent. It does not matter that you're employed by a bank to administer a portfolio, that you are a policeman executing your duty, that you are a lawyer under retainer, that you're a judge sitting up there in your robe dispensing justice, especially if you say you're dispensing justice. No activity from which the standard set by God, the heart of God, where does God want me to be on this, should be absent. And when we speak of integrity, that's where we're going. We're saying the inner man making decisions of conscience, applying technical principles out of textbook learning or academic learning, must bring those decisions in alignment with the same principles that drive your conscience.
The moral law. And
Yeah.
I think we've lost sight of that.
But because we're telling ourselves this kind of thing, like that's not my duty, or that's not an assigned task, or I don't know what it is we're
That
telling
divorce is-
ourselves.
No, like
you
we-
could split yourself
Yeah,
and say,
we
while I'm
become
a
schizophrenic.
policeman, I am cruel, and when I'm a father, I'm loving and kind.
Yeah, or you can. And one of the things.
That's why mental health is at risk.
Is at risk seriously,
Yeah.
because it is one of the things when in another time and space, work a lot with students in the tertiary institutions. I said to them, you are not a student who is a Christian, you're a Christian student. And they said, what's the difference? I says, because being a Christian is what describes your reaction that you do. And they say, yeah, because when you have that kind of mindset, we used to have this thing, WWJD, what did Jesus do? That is how we need to respond. And he said to us when he was on planet Earth, all right, let's bring it all into one place. You fear God? You fear God? Love your neighbors yourself.
Love your neighbors yourself.
Put yourself in the place of that other person, because love, as we call it, and we're the one love country. So that's how yes, we're the one love country. It means that you are other person center. Put yourself in the
and you're
place.
applying the one standard of love.
Yes.
The love you give to yourself is the love you give to others.
Right.
That's it. Treat others as you would want to be treated.
So at this point in time, we're gonna give some love to one of our regulars.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, dear Wayne. Happy birthday. Sing the rhythm. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, dear Wayne. Happy birthday.
I could catch the last happy birthday.
Yeah, good.
Happy birthday, Wayne. We celebrate you on this day. Every child born to purpose, no matter what that purpose is, it is as important as the purpose of the next man. Your purpose is right up there with the purpose of a prime minister, of a president, of a big company. The daughter, the child you raise, hey, nothing greater than that.
Yeah, and I just want to encourage you.
So,
the circumstances of your birth do not dictate where you end up. It is so important that we understand that as individuals. Our Savior was born in a manger and he became King, Lord of the world. So my brother, be encouraged. The things that you do, the journey that you're on, the journey of revelation through the Spirit of God will bring you into a place that will be a secure place, that will be a pleasant place. That even now, in this latter section of your life, where the Lord says that the latter things going to be greater for you, and I can see that happening because your heart, my brother, is in the right place. Bless up to you on your birthday today.
all right. Okay, Wayne, tell us if you receive it. He's online, so I'm expecting to see I receive it.
Yes.
What's critical? You just mentioned, you said the circumstances of your birth do not determine, where you end up, and that Christ was born in a manger and he became king. And even as you said it, what was just sharp in my thoughts was that he was already king. The king was born in a manger. So you have to know
your place,
your
purpose.
In fact, a king can be born in a manger, is what it's saying. A queen can be abandoned at birth and grow up in a foster home, or
yes, and become queen.
She is queen. She born queen. It's just the journey to the fulfillment of purpose that might differ one way or another.
Yeah.
Because we believe our Creator says, even before we were born, He had things set for us. That means you are born.
139.
You're born being what you are, and that's what He said to Jeremiah, who was resisting the call to work at a fairly early age. He says, no.
Before you're born, I knew you were born, and I called it to be what you are.
Absolutely.
So walk in it. Nobody run from it.
This is not happening because Minette didn't show up for work and I just say, you come. Oh, no.
Yes.
This was your spot. Whomever you are born in it. And the next thing is to just walk the path that brings it to fulfillment. I'm encouraging myself with that one because believe me, the struggles are unusual.
Struggles are real.
They're unusual. I see other struggles and I'm like, couldn't I get that struggle?
Yes. You're asking for that struggle and him saying, nah. You know, as you say that.
Yes.
I remember somebody said this to me because the challenges we've had in terms of my firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're coming now, somebody look at me and say, God knows who to give what. And you have to trust Him that, as Romans 8:28 says, and He causes all things to work together for the good to those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. And let me just have to just stand up and shut my mouth because I was in a place of complaining, and them said, no.
Yes.
He knows.
That test is a testimony.
Yes, He knows, and so many years on, I can, and thank God that through that He has just matured me. Both of us have brought us closer together, has moved us into places that we're going, okay. It's just God. It's God.
All right. Straight Up says, good morning, Minette. Do you realize that all the teachers got extra was a measly $100 per day? Can't even buy a soft drink. I wonder if the teachers were aware before they voted to accept.
Because I could go on my computer and just speak to it because...
Speak to it, Percy, because, this decision by the president...
To say no,
this is not what we're fighting for.
A livable wage.
We still don't even have a livable wage. And that was our point. Straight Up is emphasizing.
And that was our point, because I remember her distinctly. She says, the senior people and things, we're not worrying about them. We're talking about the foot soldiers. I'm talking about the foot soldiers. We have...
Yeah, Harrison reportedly argued that the government's package did not represent a livable wage and that she could not be a party to the signing. When Nicola came on and was giving us a little inside look at what the average teacher's experience is, and she says, even the car where you drive, you can't, you don't get enough money because I think they've taken out traveling allowance and there's something. Yeah. You can't
They have lumped everything into it and it look like it's a big money. But if you used to get something and you don't, like if you get gas reimbursement and you don't have to pay tax on it, that helps. But if everything goes up, whoops.
Even a simple thing, like I think someone had mentioned to us, the tools that you need, the tablets, computers, whatever.
She said, no, man.
Yeah, you have to fend for yourself. And those things are not cheap. I mean, and a teacher job don't begin and end at the school day.
Doesn't.
So you're at home, you're using your electricity and you're to prepare and to do things and all the resources
internet.
And you're not getting any support for those things. They will regret it, but I do understand that you have to move forward. One of the things you don't want to do is to become so weary of the fight that you throw in the towel prematurely. Anyway, the police are still holding, but the nature of things. Or that we could get to a place in this country where we are committed to changing something substantial at the foundation of this nation, and we stick to it. We stick to it, and we don't allow pressure or time or exhaustion or, any spirit of frustration or we don't allow it to pull us away from just holding out for the thing, whatever it is we need. I see that the PNP has been energized, whether it is by the polls, which the slow release poll results, or it is by just the spirit of activism that has invaded certain quarters of the country, but they're out there saying their piece and promising to do better. What would be wonderful is if they got the chance and actually within the first 100 days of taking office, they actually do better. I mean, very soon, Percy, we have to add some specific declarations to embrace the spirit of change and to urge it along so that it actually delivers something. Owen talking to us, he says, of your singing, Percy, thanks and well received. The most graceful thanksgiving is to know that I have grown to love the Lord and pointing people to Him. So he's taken up the Great Commission, which is every man's highest calling.
Yeah.
Go out and make disciples of men, point people to the Savior.
Yeah, but thank you straight up for pointing that out.
$100. Where's that analysis? Is it in what you have access to?
No, not. I'd have to go search somewhere. I have the whole thing, but it's to find it now. But but I remember somebody saying that they moved it from 2.5 to 3 million for the thing. That only happens in 2024. It doesn't happen in 2023.
Yeah.
Because it's 2022, 2023, 2024. And the increase that happens over those years is 15%. And even I was talking to a doctor, said, but that don't make no sense. That don't even make up for what has happened with inflation. And that was an argument that they were making. 5% when inflation is at 8 or 10%, because that's what it was annualized for last year. So it really not making sense when people...
They'll be back at the table next year.
But they can't go back because they sign off until
don't even say no, can't go back. Just understand that hardship, what they call it, hardship of life will break any contract.
Oh my Lord.
And that's what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid the constant disruption. Listen, man, or some people say contracts are made to be broken.
Oh,
if you don't make it, you can't break it.
That's true. Well, you know.
Absolutely. When the challenges of life make it impossible for you to function, and especially if you think you have been deceived, trouble. Sick out by immigration officers results in delays and disgruntled passengers. The island's two major airports came under strain on Monday after dozens of immigration officers reportedly called in sick, forcing long lines, heavy delays, and plane loads of frustrated passengers. That might have a great deal more effect, especially in Montego Bay, because if you do anything that inconvenience the tourists, the whole government snaps to attention. So, immigration officers, do your thing. I've not gone anywhere to pay for any kind of service where, because you are doing a good work for the nation, you get it free. Or, in fact, the other day we were seeking to pay our water bill and Lowell called a number to me. I'm like, what? How did that? And he dived into the bill and showed me 30% of the bill is a service charge to NWC. Did you know that? 30%? The OUR approved that? I don't even remember when that happened. NWC, that the other day somebody was on air here saying to me that water should be free.
I remember that, yeah.
NWC that can't even implement and guide a policy to harvest rainfall, so when times of drought hit us, we're in some good shape. Farmers, everybody under pressure because the sky has not yielded. And NWC is getting 30% service charge. And where I live, maybe same place like where you live, we're not connected to public sewage or any such thing.
You have your own thing. You still have to
Yes.
pay for it, though. You know, and look at the bill, even though you're not connected, them put in there's a line there for that. You did,
I've
yeah.
I've not looked at it myself. I'm gonna check it out now.
Mm-hmm.
Which lawsuit, Conrad asked me if I saw the lawsuit.
Which one of them?
Which one? Because I was looking at the one for the, I was looking at the one just now that I spoke about with the young man who was beaten in police custody, abused by reason of the police themselves letting it be known that the man is possibly a homosexual, and the judge slashed the award. I was looking at it just now and speaking to it. But, we continue to express our support for those civil servants who are living near below the poverty line, if not hanging right onto it, are agitating for better wages. And we're saying, stand your ground, support it, support it, support it, support it. Conrad said there's a lawsuit for the police commissioner.
Which one that?
All right, we have to do our research. Conrad, we have to do our research on that one unless you can send me a link. Yeah, the entire nation needs to find and take a right position with regards to all the persons whose labor, whose effort keep the nation going in some semblance of order. When they come to us for more pay, because really they go to Nigel, but Nigel is our representative. When they seek to be better compensated, please do not ignore. Treat them the way you would want to be treated. Make the best possible arrangements for them so they don't feel taken advantage of and abused, because in turn, the service they give us will reflect their dissatisfaction. So you don't have to wonder why certain things are going the way they are. Just now, we carried a snippet of Minister Nigel Clark speaking, budget debate, no doubt, speaking about the massive amount of money being spent to upgrade tax collection centers. I would say spend that on the hospitals.
Yeah, that is where it needs to go.
Because in short order, I was giving them 10 years. Person, look at me and laugh. In short order, tax collection centers, revenue collection centers will become irrelevant. You see, like how the banks pushing us out to ATMs and then pushing us online? Everything you need to do with government needs in its fulfillment, as you referenced that when you said it's going to take less time than 10 years. All the money that you're spending upgrading tax collection centers will be wasted money. It better you spend the money on health or education. What say you?
I agree. I think that with all that what government do and we coming up, the first is security. The next thing is justice, education, health. Government can do everything else, but those are where you get primary.
Security is the first thing.
Yes, security,
Police.
justice, security, justice in my own mind, in terms of the justice system.
Like pay the policemen more?
Just overall justice, because if there's a great sense of injustice in any country, it has a spillover in all the other areas. And that is why, as you've heard me say many, many times, righteousness, justice, mercy, and truth. If the government can ensure that you have a justice system that works for everybody, then a lot of the challenges that we have, I don't think we'll have them in this country. That's just my personal thing. Then you go into ensuring that your persons are healthy and well educated.
Social programs are intact.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Justice. Justice, truth be ours forever. Yeah. So I'm trying to see.
You're trying to get an analysis of.
Yeah, but it looks like we have to go make a calls and see what happens.
All right. Well, I think it's gonna come out in the in the days ahead of us. But I really feel that the wage deal being signed was more bowing to the pressure and the urgency and tired of the fight and so on.
The PSOJ coming out and saying that the macroeconomic thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, hear them say anything about the
All right.
government
We're
not
right
coming
up
out.
on our 8:00 break. So let's take the break. When we come back, we'll open the lines and we'll carry the conversation a little further.
You're simply the best. You're simply the
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Emily Thomas with the BBC News. China and Russia have denounced a defence pact by the US, Britain and Australia that will provide Australia with nuclear-powered attack submarines. Beijing urged the three countries, known as AUKUS, not to pursue the move, saying it would harm international stability. Stephen McDonnell reports.
According to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, the UK, Australia and the US are encouraging an international arms race with a defence pact that will involve Australia getting nuclear-powered submarines. After new details of the AUKUS arrangement were revealed by leaders of the three countries, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson said that by transferring a large amount of highly enriched weapons-grade material to Australia, a non-nuclear state, this was a breach of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. At a regular press briefing in Beijing, Wang Wenbin said the three countries were trying to coerce the International Atomic Energy Agency Secretariat into granting an exemption to allow the deal to continue.
Russia's Defence Minister Sergei Shoigu has instructed a state-owned arms manufacturer to double its output of high-precision tactical missiles. It comes amid reports that Russia's military is experiencing shortages. Russia continues to target Ukraine's energy infrastructure in mass attacks, although not with the frequency seen at the end of last year. Taiwan says it's investigating the disappearance of one of its soldiers who's resurfaced in mainland China and has vowed to secure his return. Celia Hatton reports.
The military authorities in Taiwan realized the young soldier was missing when he failed to turn up for roll call at his post on the remote Ardan islet. Some in Taiwan have raised the possibility that the man, surnamed Chen, defected from the army and swam the 5-kilometer stretch to the Chinese mainland. Taiwan's defense minister, Chiu Kuo-chung, said Taipei was pursuing alternative channels to bring the soldier back to Taiwan, though it's unclear what its options might be. Beijing claims the self-ruled territory of Taiwan as its own and has not commented on the fate of the soldier.
The Supreme Court in India has rejected the government's plea seeking more compensation for victims of a major gas leak disaster in the city of Bhopal in 1984. Thousands of people died after the leak. Here's Ambara Sanitharajan.
One of the arguments put by the Supreme Court was that this was settled in 1989 between the Government of India and Union Carbide, which is now owned by Dow Chemicals, out-of-court settlement of $470 million. And what is the point in revisiting this particular settlement 30 years later? The main argument was that it was not enough. It was a paltry sum and people are still suffering. So they were asking for about $1.1 billion.
BBC News. Russia's lower house of parliament, the State Duma, has voted to approve an amendment to a law that will censor criticism of volunteer groups fighting in Ukraine, such as the Wagner mercenary group. The amended legislation says anyone found guilty of discrediting the Russian army or volunteers supporting them in Ukraine will be given harsh punishments. The United Nations and Turkey say talks are continuing on extending a deal that they're trying to broker with Russia and Ukraine on Black Sea grain exports. The current deal, which facilitates the export of grain from 3 of Ukraine's ports, is due to expire on Saturday. Russia says the deal has been extended by 60 days, but this hasn't been confirmed by the UN. The Lebanese pound has plunged to a historic low against the US dollar as the country's economic woes heighten. The closure of banks, starting today, is in response to what the industry calls arbitrary judicial decisions that have further depleted their foreign currency reserves. The Indonesian island of Bali is planning to restrict the use of motorbikes by foreign visitors following an increase in cases of people breaking local traffic laws. Police say there have been more than 170 traffic violations by visiting tourists in February and March alone. Richard Howells reports.
Hiring a motorbike or scooter to tour the pretty tropical island of Bali is popular with holidaymakers. But the authorities are worried that too many visitors are breaking traffic laws, riding without helmets, driving after drinking alcohol, or even without a license. Under the new proposals, only authorized travel agents will be able to supply visitors with scooters or motorbikes. But Bali is still recovering from COVID and needs the tourist dollars that come from scooter rentals. Bike rental companies say the authorities should concentrate on specific traffic violations rather than imposing a blanket ban on riders.
Richard Howells reporting. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Best 100 FM, broadcasting live in all 14 parishes. Hanover 100.5, 100.9. St. James 100.9, Trelawney 100.3, 100.9, St. Anne 100.3, 100.5, St. Mary 100.5, Westmoreland 100.1, 100.5, St. Elizabeth 100.1, 100.5, Manchester 100.1, 100.5, Clarendon 100.1, 100.5, 100.9. St. Catherine 100.5, 100.9. St. Andrew 100.5, 100.9. St. Thomas 100.5 and 100.9. Best FM, giving you the better vibe.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM, keep listening.
This parenting tip is brought to you by Best 100 FM. What you do matters. This is one of the most important principles. What you do makes a difference. Your kids are watching you. Don't react on the spur of the moment. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? And is this likely to produce the result? Remember, good parenting helps foster empathy, honesty, self-reliance, self-control, kindness, cooperation, and cheerfulness. This parenting tip was brought to you by Best 100 FM, giving you the better vibe.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show, Lascelles Butch Chen, on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing work in our maturing years, compellingly define, educate, and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Need a package delivered? Give via Express Courier and Shipping a call. We have secure and efficient island-wide delivery at competitive rates. Same day and next day delivery are also available with 32 pickup and drop-off locations island-wide. We offer the most accessible courier services. Contact us now at 876-499-2621 or 876-499-2554 or visit our website at myviaexpress.com or visit one of our 32 locations across the island. Choose Via Express Courier and Shipping for your everyday and island-wide shipping.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location of Upper Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Morning Connection. Your hosts, Minette Lawrence and Percival Palmer. You know, we love to hear from you. So the lines are now open for you to speak. What's on your mind, as we are the voice for the voiceless. 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473.
Yeah, before you begin calling, let me just say a big thank you to Conrad, who has shared with me one of the most interesting documents I have read in a long time. But it's the kind of activity that we've been calling for from the first day we took the microphone on this program. Somebody in Jamaica, a lawyer in Jamaica, appears to have filed an action on the instructions of a Jamaican living abroad, and as it says, over 500 other persons who have in the diaspora who maintain property homes and have family here. Regardless, it is an action that is calling on the Police Services Commission and the Public Service Commission to explain to the applicants
why
the basis on which the police commissioners contract of employment has been extended, and asking for orders compelling these government commissions to
tell us why.
Well, not just to say why, but also for them to send home the commissioner. Let me put it that way. I am trying to find and speak with the attorney whose name is on the documents, but it is very interesting that all right. Conrad has gone one up. Conrad said, I sign it also. So I have to hunt down the affidavit because it is supported. The application is supported by an affidavit signed by Wayne Brown. Wayne Brown, I celebrate and applaud you. I know, and we've been saying it here, that it is in the will of God that the diaspora of this country play a very special role in bringing freedom and bringing righteousness back into the land. The reason God says those in the diaspora, He protect them and give them certain special experiences and favor to allow them to grow, strengthen themselves, and come back with some necessary skills. So Wayne Brown is described here as a record producer, citizen of Jamaica, and a member of the Jamaican diaspora living in the state of Florida in the United States of America with connections to Royal Flat District, Mandeville, Parish of Manchester, and his overseas address is also stated. Let me give you an idea of what this is, because when you call me, I want you to talk about it. They asked for a declaration that it is desirable to require the commissioner to resign in the interest of the public. Or an order of mandamus requiring the police services commission, that's the second defendant? No, the public service commission to retire him in the interest of the public. And then it goes into some more details to say there should be a disclosure of the performance evaluated clauses in the commissioner's contract and what scores were given when his performance was evaluated. And substantively, it says the state of crime and violence in the country is a direct failure in the performance of that job, and therefore the consequence should be that the commissioner of police goes home. What I like about it is that it is boldly calling on the decision makers who keep people employed and so on and so forth to explain their actions. And it is perfectly permissible in the law. You can do these kinds of things. You do one of two ways. You take it to the courts to see if a judge will go with you, or you take it to the polls. Since we don't seem capable of taking anything to the polls in a mature way, they're taking it to the courts. I will make no prediction on the outcome of it, save that in typical fashion, every effort will be made to have it thrown out.
Yeah.
They just understand that the same attorney government general who goes to court when matters are brought that attack agents of the state or institutions of the state, that attorney general's office is going to be all over this in the first instance to see how can we prevent it from being heard. And so about all you might end up with is to know that it was filed. And the fact that it was filed is the most important thing about it. Someone took the decision to put pen to paper and say,
money.
I am asking a question about this, and to put resources behind it. It's a very hopeful sign. So yes, now you can open the lines.
But it's kind of interesting. So what happened with you guys yesterday? Nothing.
Nothing happened with us yesterday.
Nah.
The judge who I never expected to see again showed up.
Oh, she came back?
Yes, but only to restate her position that she cannot be of any assistance. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, Wayne. Good morning.
Thanks. We just started to the last teacher that make commissioner and resign, and and if anything, take it to the poll or take it to the court.
Yes.
To see if the judge may favor us. But we know to take it to the court to see if the judge would favor us.
Mm-hmm.
We should take it to the court to make sure the judge favors us, because if he is wrong or the commissioner is wrong, whether man or woman, and we have evidence to prove the failure of the commissioner, take if they have to give what we want. If we really serious and know ourselves, they have to give us what we want.
In the end, there is always victory, but the path to victory is littered with many skirmishes and sometimes unpleasant results. And you have to be prepared for that. Whenever you go to court, you must know that the judge may think that everything you're saying is foolishness. You must also know that judges can be very pro-government. Judges they're just like you and me. They live here. They have feelings about one thing or another, and sometimes the justice you see is very much the justice coming out of their own imagination.
Yeah, and we have to can establish true justice and don't make the one that just come out of imagination real.
Yes.
Because true justice is different from imaginative justice.
Of course. Of course.
And it stands supreme to, because everybody can feel true justice, even those who are go against it,
Yes.
So even the next person them we talk about where you say we try not to make it reach where it's supposed to reach. That means that they are not working for the people. They are working for individuals. They're not they are not working for the general Jamaican
the best interest of the part. No, and we, you can see that sometimes you see results that show a preference for one group over another, and it goes like that. But as you've rightly said, the effort has to come from those of us who care enough about it, have to keep putting in the effort to bring about change.
And especially those who have certain levels of education, they need to unite them to really bring the change. Because that's the thing with Saul. I'm reading the book of Romans, I don't read after the Romans. That's the thing with Saul. That's why Saul kind of, you have more books in the New Testament after Christ's crucifixion, after the deed Saul, because you have certain levels of education, but by the Holy Spirit, it makes you greater, make you can express things even on a levels where...
Of course.
You're plugging into the infinite.
Yeah, because yes, God will qualify you for things for which you have no technical training. And there, as if you remember in the Old Testament, when he was giving Moses the men of skill to do the various metal work and the weaving and the artistic work and so on, he said it specifically that I give these men the talent. So, and through revelation, because they never have no experience of that, coming out of where they were coming from. We coming out of slavery don't have no experience of being lawyers and accountants and teachers, and the technical training, we never had it. Yet, many of us would have risen by talent and through godly inspiration to do amazing things, but we still have that need to ensure that our children are educated. And when they're educated, they can step up and, as you're saying now, take their place in society and lead the change that is necessary. What you're doing with your daughter is probably one of the most important things you will ever do in your life.
There's something we talk about sometime last week.
Yes.
It was Thursday when we're doing I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And with the Adam and Eve thing.
Yes.
And the temptation and thing, but all right, as Christ would say, there will be temptation, but woe unto those who do the tempting. And you see, when I look on the story, I say, all right, Adam and Eve did know which plant they're going to eat from. So, if Eve make a thought take hold of her, or the devil convince her to do something which the Creator, which is above all things, tell her not to do, it make her, sin.
Yes.
But even when she go to Adam, and I convince Adam to do the same thing.
Yes.
Adam did already know what he should not do.
So he had a responsibility to resist.
So he has a responsibility to resist.
Yes.
So he can't fully blame Eve to make him sin.
That would have been his
Because
second sin.
him did know him not to do it.
My second sin. Yeah.
That was the second mistake he made. Because he knew he got the instruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like he never know.
Right. So that's why you see when God is a God of justice. So everybody had to take their share of the blame. He couldn't get away by saying the woman you gave me led me into this error. No. He got his curse too.
No man, but as we talk about the birthday, you know, me looking at my life this year, me can give great thanks to God.
Yes.
Knowing that I have achieved or accept something that most people don't seem to accept, which is the word, the laws of the Lord, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as Christ said, those who reject his word, better than never born. And the judgment will be so endless and terrible. Better than never born, better than never exist.
Yeah.
There's neither joy nor pain then. But to exist and reject the Lord, it will end up in terrible pain.
Yeah,
you know?
you
So
live in
we
conflict.
have reason to give thanks.
We bless you on your earth strong, my brother. Thank you for calling us and sharing it with
But
us.
at the same time, you have to remember, with the great men who come and do great work still slip up, so we know that the trial is not over yet. So we have to just be cautious and maintain it, you know, maintain the liberty. You know, till we give up his soul back to the Lord and wait for the day of his kingdom when I and I will all be reigning on earth pure with pure heart, can't sin and everything. You know, so give thanks and bless our family.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Enjoy the day.
Good morning, caller. Welcome. Thank you for holding.
Love and bless in the morning.
African, how are you?
Good morning.
You know what person can I give thanks for tonight? Good to be here, you know?
Yeah.
Moral obedience, you know?
Moral obedience, correct. Yeah, because...
Enzinga.
Yes.
Enzinga, did you get anything?
I know that the outgoing public defender had made a recommendation. I don't know if it resulted
in any payment.
In a payment.
What about Agana Barrett?
Yes, Agana Barrett was
paid. That's what they use as a basis for this one, no?
That was one of the precedents referred to.
You know, Peter Touch got through them same thing they do.
And one of our politicians, Babsy Grange? Well, you meaning imprisonment?
Yeah.
Wrongful imprisonment.
I'm beaten.
Well, what you're touching. So what you're touching on is really the part that concerns me. That it seems to be like it's considered the norm that black men.
It's a fashion.
Yeah.
It's a fashion.
And it don't seem to.
You remember?
And it not work.
You remember that? You remember? Go ahead, Miss Minute.
No, I'm saying that's a part of the concern I have, that it is regarded as a common experience and perhaps not worth much.
Miss Minute.
Yes.
You remember the other day a politician get up in the House of Parliament, our House of Parliament, and talking about how them train the police and when train them for
shoot on something.
Yes, my brethren.
Yeah.
You remember the shooting of Bob Marley and his family?
But let me tell you, there are many such memories that we could recite, going all the way back to independence.
Not even a court date, you know. Never said say Bob Marley and his family, you know. You remember Free Eye?
Yeah, man.
It was killed
with Peter Tosh. So so African are plenty of them. Plenty of them.
Plenty.
Yes.
Justice have to start somewhere, you know.
Yes.
My father vexed, you know. So we now get no justice around here, you know, Miss Minetti. When you come from the pen, throw him in there. I saw them deal with something in this minute.
Yeah, but you know, African, we take responsibility for some of that, you know. In fact, I would say we take responsibility we have to take full responsibility for it. Others are culpable, but even say now, look at what is happening with the teachers. You see where the president has had to state her dissatisfaction with what others are accepting.
You know them threaten the teacher them before the teacher them accept.
Tell me why you say that.
Yeah.
All right. The man say, "I'm money up on the table. If you not take it now, it will vanish."
You mean the bullet? Oh, you mean the Minister of Finance?
Okay. I thought you meant something else, but yes.
And then the Minister of Education say, who demonstrate some charge at hand.
I mean, in terms of instructions about the vacation, the sick days. Oh, that was said too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My brethren, my people in Jamaica, hear this now. Woe to the nation that rise up against my people. The Lord Almighty will take vengeance on them in the day of judgment. Fire and worm he will give to their flesh. They shall weep in pain forever.
Mm.
Good reminder. Good reminder. Blessings.
And we come up onto our 8:30 break. Thank you very much.
But you know, it's always good to remember that there is consequence.
It is, yeah. Most importantly.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, you know, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, guys. Trust me.
What a relief.
Need a package delivered? Give Via Express Courier and Shipping a call. We have secure and efficient island-wide delivery at competitive rates. Same day and next day delivery are also available with 32 pickup and drop-off locations island-wide. We offer the most accessible courier services. Contact us now at 876-499-2621 or 876-499-2554 or visit our website at myviaexpress.com. Or visit one of our 32 locations across the island. Choose Via Express Courier and Shipping for your everyday and island-wide shipping.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Anywhere you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Great, morning to the top lady and the best of them crew, yeah. All the best to win. And more life to respond. Morning, minute.
Good
morning. All right, a few things, Pastor. First thing, I really believe the police commissioner must leave. I believe we should have pay people work before pay.
Okay, I mean based on performance.
Yes. Work, man. A lot of people don't understand the performance. Work, man. You're supposed to work.
You're supposed to work for your pay. All right, good.
But the problem we have in Jamaica is that the political party, both of them, is that they look out for their friends and them family. So the family and them friends will keep certain things for them just in case. The same thing like Zeke. They get Zeke for $15 million. And you tell me now, what is Zeke's professional? What is Zeke's business? Walk around $50 million. But yet still a man from downtown, but he have to do some, I don't know what I call him, someone who wants to claim the money, say the money is his money. Which man from ghetto keep people like as and I someone. But then claim it. Just like Nixie Siaga. You said something about the Prime Minister involvement in our party, but yet still he's defending the Prime Minister. But when the foolishness go on in the country, you don't hear the peer surgery, they don't hear that stress.
Real issue, yeah.
Continuous increase of the people about this. I know, even though I just between friends, I know the Prime Minister don't come and say, no, we need to subsidize some things. I know they ignore totally the constant or the everyday increase of the pressure of the people who was from Mitzi and them friend them and material surgery do not address it. But yesterday said about the Prime Minister and I come out of the last night on TV. So this is the country we're living in. We just have to be our brother's keeper. Okay, and I have two more things. I want up the time. I think yesterday, past a minute,
yes,
there was a few callers, especially the second to the last one. A couple of friends called me and mentioned it to me also. I thought it was me alone who identified. I don't know the clarity of the order. I don't know if it's other because they say some of them have a speech problem. Some of the callers them not speaking clearly. And the one that speak, they're talking too fast. And two, they're not structuring. There was the second to last one, he was here for a while. He got a good one, and up until his friend, I do not identify and recognize one word the person.
Was it the audio quality or the speech?
The speech. I heard you clearly.
Yes, okay.
So some of them they need to talk slow and pronounce the word right. We're not perfect, but
yes, okay. And listen, what I will do then, because sometimes I detect it, I will repeat enough of what I'm responding to so that the clarity can be there. because yes, we are sharing information, and it is important that both the speaker and the listener are at one. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Finally, I heard some billions of dollars mentioned about this water project or this water program.
Mm-hmm.
But what I gather from it is billions of dollars. We are talking about delivering water with trucks. But minute, as I told you before, we don't really have a vision, we don't, because we have a water crisis. The dam built from when? The dam built from what? 1962, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I will build the dam. You tell me now, we have this great leader. Forget Michael Mann, we have Andrew, we have Bruce, we have Portia Simpson, and PG. And these guys are eloquent, and these guys are genius as Santos. But yes, we have this water crisis from
every year. Like every year.
Every year we have it, and it's worsening, yeah.
I mean, if you speak on the road flood, and every year water running on the road up until this per minute.
Yeah.
TV partisan, number one, they change out the billing system at Water Commission to give them friends some money. $1 billion. Why is it that in every year, let's say I live in Maxwell Avenue, why is it that we can't find an open lot, clear the open lot, dig a well, and have it catchment there so it supply the people who want to wash them cars and water them lot. All right? Why we don't have water house and we build a here, like Riverton City, we build a catchment?
Can I tell you something, my brother?
And Percy, Kingston is our capital. Kingston is the here where people have to come and live. Everybody, almost everybody from 14 parish are packed up in a Kingston. So what you're actually doing, you're putting that strain now on the water supply who's supposed to serve 400,000 people, but yet still we have 1 million people in town or 1.5 in town. Does it make sense? You're putting strain. So what you need to do, you need to expand. Because everybody coming to town to make a living, to live in skyscraping, to put in all these buildings and all that. There's no vision.
Yeah.
That's not going to tell you, but where's the vision? Eh?
Well,
and so that's why the town, the place is so clogged up with the traffic and the pastor. Yesterday, a girl asked me, you know, on Saturday drive? I said, listen, man, I just do my fitness and I have to pay 4,500 just for a fee. All right? It makes sense here. I mean, I traffic for 1 2 hours, I burn. Yesterday, my daughter from also look for me for program, the TV. I'm going to say, why you don't drive? Daddy, just I leave school, my partner van. The road, the place is so clustered. And up until this permit, there's nobody designing how we are going to cut this thing down so we can put less strain on our foreign exchange in terms of buying. Like, all is happening is that these guys that run in Jamaica is behaving like they are in the roads, right? Everything is grand. Where's the vision? Where's in terms of the traffic? Look at the street light, look at the rubbish. Where's the vision this minute?
But,
Frank,
to some of the things you're saying, it's not government issues. I don't need the government to tell me to harvest rainwater throughout the year so that when the dry months come, I have water. That's what I am accustomed to as a country girl anyway, because piped water never reached my neck of the woods for a long time, and many Jamaicans are doing without water like that. And I tell you, I think the ones I know, people planning housing developments now, they make allowance for it and put provisions in place. But the water policy that government ought to be guarding and monitoring, as you know, my discontent, they are now collecting service charge and they're not doing nearly enough. But those are all of the excellent reasons why we need change. We need change. There's a man standing on top of the transport center, waving a flag in Halfway Tree. Just saying. The frustration is reaching all kinds of level because I don't know that what he's doing up there even makes sense, and I hope he doesn't fall. But people are doing anything and everything to draw attention to their condition.
People are suffering. People are suffering. We need to stop. Do everything. Worship. We Lord Jesus Christ and focus on the people. And if we can't get nobody who just say, yeah, Forget about riches and the money and focus on the people them in terms of making this country a place where even the poor, I don't even want to say poor, even the poor man can afford to emphasize basic necessity. I know Mark Golden don't address it, I know Andy don't address this, I know Mr. Fiala don't address this thing. All them all the business boys, them billions of dollars when they can make and ship out of this country at the end of the day, pass up me as a black man have no to go. I don't know about you, I don't know about my minister, I don't know.
Well, where you hear me, you take it.
The white man come squeeze my throat.
You take it to the polls or you take it to the courts? Or you do both?
I used to travel. I'm going to stop because at 2-3 years now my passport expire. So I don't have no way to run go apart from.
So we got to fix it here.
And the police them incentives. We need to
fix the place.
There's no vision for your chuck water. And then next year again, is a drought again and the other year. From 1989 we have in this drought. And none of these prime minister we are liar. I was so brilliant to come for your radio chat. Like them invent the Queen language. I know a simple thing as but if you're collecting it is like street like them. What is the aid of the gas tax and the property tax? Is that the education tax? I believe it's a collect education tax. It's just channel straight through to education.
Well, I tell you, my brother, everything that you're talking about here
is what we agree
you
with.
take it to the polls or you take it to court. Go ahead. And sometimes you do both.
Superintendent Pantan from King's House.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Police commissioner must come Superintendent Pantan on the country.
All right. We do have another call.
You call out. But all right. The water challenge that we are having is not a new thing. Remember this grand idea to fix recovery and that harness it? Nothing.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning. Every time you guys cut me off when I'm waiting.
I don't know that we do it, my dear sir.
Sorry,
cut off from your end. After quickly redial.
And I'm so glad you got through. How are you?
All right, Cruz, what's up?
Morning. Anyway.
Yes.
Drought has been here from I was a little child in the 60s. I have seen drought worse in the 60s than anything I have seen since 89. Trust me. I used to see some property down here that J.C. Hutchinson's father owned. That's cow. No grass. Cow got to drink water and they're so weak they couldn't come out of a 3-inch of mud.
Yeah.
You have to stay in the river and die. So drought have been here. I see some worse than since the 80s, 90s, 2000 come up. So these guys are talking about drought. Drought was always here. The only time we did a little easement on drought was when Castro came here and teach us.
The micro dams.
Yes, that's the only time. And after 1980, all of those were scrapped. Come on, I need to teach these people history.
Well, you know, we talk about drought. Drought and famine are weapons of God.
Even in the Bible, yeah,
but you tell you, say he will stop up the rain, he'll stop up the heavens so the rain don't fall, and he will make the ground like the heavens would be like bronze and the ground like iron.
Yeah.
And there are some reasons why that happens, and we know what they are and we know what to do. But if we are gonna just turn to science and man's own initiative to solve some of these problems, all of us know when rain fall, plenty catch the water.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have what to catch it. Government have to help. Government must help.
Even so,
we can help, you know,
yes,
but government should.
Yeah, but even if it's government helping, sometimes we are agitating for certain things out of government. We could agitate for the things that really matter. We press them to address things that they do based on popularity and so on. Press for the right things. We always have to help ourselves. There is no complaint you can have, no complaint that man can have, which don't involve us doing something. It is never entirely the fault or the responsibility of someone else.
And I think if more of us take responsibility in terms of what we have control over, and to push for things that really need to be pushed to shift the situation, the change will come.
Of course.
It must
So, for
come.
example, you might know the counselor in your area and you're bothering about something that is just for you. Let's get some water storage facilities installed in the community. So when rainfall, even the same, you talk about micro dams. So you know about micro dams. Have you sought to teach anybody in your community and establish one? And you don't have to answer that. I'm just saying we have responsibility. Those with the knowledge and the experience, we have responsibility. The reason why Ecclesiastes could boldly say that everything happened before, man forget, and the same trouble strike us again, is because we don't pass it on. We break.
Anyway, Miss Minute.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a bigger picture to talk about this morning. It's just that guy was talking about.
It's a very bigger picture.
Anyway, go start a micro dam in a few area there. St. Elizabeth always run out of
Yes,
water.
I have micro dam. I have some drum here that I have for some water that I want some.
There you go.
The bigger picture, you know, is do you think those two banks in the US will have any problem down here?
I don't, not in the way you might be thinking. The global economy is an ecosystem that is interdependent. One side feeds off another. America cough, Jamaica catch cold. But those two banks and how they're being treated, Silicon Valley Bank, which is America's 16th largest bank, and Signature Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, there was a run on the bank, and you know a run on a bank will take place when people lose confidence. That can happen in Jamaica. Right now, the Stocks and Securities Limited issue is being dealt with very tenderly and gingerly because nobody wants the loss suffered by the depositors there or the investors there to be contagious. So how you manage it is, I think, maybe 90% of how you prevent it having a domino effect.
Confidence.
So there's that. The other bank, Signature Bank, seem to have had a large percentage of their funds in cryptocurrency, which cryptocurrency enjoys even less confidence than the dollar. So if confidence shifts in that, that can gut the whole system. Nonetheless, you've seen the federal government has said they will insure and make good for every depositor whose money was in those two banks. And that's like inoculation or a vaccine. That is to stop it from spreading. If a bank falls into that kind of problem, there's a lack of confidence and a run on the bank in Jamaica. I know the Jamaican government can't do what the federal government is doing in the United States. Yes, it can happen here, but I don't think there's a relationship between those two banks with investors in Jamaica that would cause it to, affect what's happening here.
You understand that, right, Cruz? Because it was very much linked to cryptocurrency, and remember what happened with Friedman? That's what caused it to fall. People were spooked because of what happened in Silicon Valley in terms of that. So a lot of it is related to confidence in the bank.
All of it is confidence. If everybody take the money out of the bank, the strongest bank will fall.
All right? Cruz? Okay. Cruz gone.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Can we close the line and just start again, please? Because good morning. Welcome. Yeah, there was like I could tell when the call went because it's like the line had an echo in it that was quite distracting. Good morning and welcome.
Morning time to you folks.
Good morning, sir.
Cruz, boy, this a one man me I know me have to agree with you because you have said what me have said. I remember Michael Manley. He did some things in his time, but when he came and he said microdam, they laugh at him. They laugh at him. It's still up there. Them are raising out some of the dams, the little microdam and stuff.
Yeah.
We must have vision. And the man came and said, Pastor, did you remember when Michael see the cloud?
Yes, man, I remember that. It was a major thing.
You remember how much days of rain we have?
Yes, because that's the technology that we use in terms of seeing in the
cloud. But I never do it again because like the place almost washed away. So nobody wouldn't try that again. History. Sometimes we come with it. So the crews are tap on the back this morning when they come with the microdam business because people don't understand. I know the people them that is. You see the then PMP to the now PMPs are two different PMP, right? And let me tell you something. These people just are thinking about themselves. They are thinking about themselves. They are not thinking about the people. Because people on the ground is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lady call, I can't say nationwide, and said to the host then, Mr. Youth, I vote for Mr. Andrew Wellness. And she said, she tell Andrew Wellness she suffer. She said she suffer. She said she buy a tin of milk for $400. Listen what I say again.
Mm-hmm.
1 tin of milk.
That's your milk rate?
Yes, she said she not drink. She said she can't drink black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So she have to drink milk with little whitening in it. $400. Now, come on, man. Where are we going? What is the interest of the country? Man, come on. Mr. Clark say, we are doing good. And we're doing this and we're doing that and the praising. What happened to the small man on the ground? What happened to them?
Which is the majority of Jamaica.
Brother, I don't buy. I'm not against turkey neck, When I use a turkey neck is for $900, I don't know how truthful it is. Mm-hmm. So I go have to go check it out. I go in this man go check it out if I true. I can't believe a turkey neck can go for $900. I don't believe it.
Turkey neck is the new oxtail.
Yes, it's not the new oxtail. It is the
original
for the get-out people. Yes. For the get-out people.
Mm.
Yeah? Yeah, they can't buy the one way. And I make me tell people a whole lot of things. Go and check out what nutrients oxtail have in it. Nothing for you. It just sweeten up your mouth. But I don't know nothing for bill you. But I was gonna call, but when I hear this morning, no man, Michael Manley did that, man. Him say Michael Dam, and then the other side laugh at him. They laugh at him. I dare anybody to challenge him upon that.
No, but we know it worked in the areas until it became what they call ponds for people to grow.
For fish farms.
Fish farm,
A fish pond. A fish pond, go to Spanish town here, what's the Martin and all for them.
Oh, those were microdams. I thought they were fish ponds.
That's where they start.
It's a minute.
No, truly, that all the time I've seen them.
Come on. Mike, so it's not that whenever we start, him say eat where you grow, them time they took, and all them thing there. So eat where you grow is not a new thing.
It's a long time. It's been on long.
It's a long time coming.
But for those of us who 40s who came through the 70s and the 80s and remember the marrying of stuff and Tony Handmaker fashion and the different things we had to do, we were at a place that we were poised to. All right, you go through the rough time, ready to take off in terms of building indigenous industries, and then it changed, and we switch it back over. So we understand and know.
History must be told, sir. But a lot of people don't know it. Mm-hmm. So this morning, it just, I said morning to the people, and I said morning to Mr. Clark this morning, Mr. Clark. I wonder how you sleep. I wonder when you sit down and think about these things. You're a brilliant person. Not taking that away from you. But, why we come with this brag and boast thing? Is it about bragging? Is it about self? Is it about I did this different, or is it about the people?
Which is the most fundamental question, yes.
People. Is it about the people? People are suffer. And when I hear that lady the lady say, him should vote for, and she say, him should do better because she can't buy groceries. And when a man going at the pastor, them have one name, the $5,000 bill, you broke one.
And it finished so quick, you wonder what happened to the money?
All right, pastor, me say, you just got break one. Pastor, me have my glasses, the angle break, and I went to the place yesterday. So I have two, so I just say, me carry the two of them go. I $5,000 for fix the two of them, you know.
Aye.
2,500 alone. Pastor, where are we, Pastor? Pastor, no. The church, I want the church hear this. Because me in a church too. And me a part of the problem too. Because we forget up and go there. We for make them know. So we're not accepting what is happening. Some of them join umbrella business. Me not know about, me not under an umbrella. The only thing I put over my head is a hat. I may have a roof over my head. But me not an umbrella business.
You need to be talking on behalf of the people. I'm in agreement with you.
Pastor, we forgot the man. The people are suffering, you know, Pastor. Pastor, people are suffering. And when I say so, me not me just want to compare it. You forgot the people, you know, people are suffering. People are suffering. $1,000 is like $100 now. The $100 and the $5,000 is like $1,000. People are suffering, and these people go in a house, and a man say, boom, 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 and they agree. These are the hypocrites that sit down in the House of Parliament and jeer us. And I will say again, I will never forget you, Mr. Fly Green, and no movements there. You and your compadre them sit down, I drink champagne and I caviar and see woman I go down and come up and I say, what? That pan and no movements there. Shame on you. I don't know how you and the one when you're market and I'm bunting. Only not shame. It was flagged on his birthday.
Fortis, it's 9:01, my dear. We need to take the break. Right. So sorry to cut into your.
No, man, no.
Yeah, but we have to take the break.
So true, man, no problem.
All right, thank you so much.
Just like when they say, I will return. I shall return.
All right, and Fortis.
We welcome you. All right.
You're simply the best. You're simply the
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep
This parenting tip is brought to you by Best 100 FM. What you do matters. This is one of the most important principles. What you do makes a difference. Your kids are watching you. Don't react on the spur of the moment. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? And is this likely to produce the result? Remember, good parenting helps foster empathy, honesty, self-reliance, self-control, kindness, cooperation, and cheerfulness. This parenting tip was brought to you by Best 100 FM, giving you the better vibe.
Half a tree. Already, 200. Ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
You hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Trust me.
Ah, what a relief.
3 services.
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show, Lascelles Butch Chen, on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing work in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Go ahead, please. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Not too bad, Pastor. And you're honest this morning and to the king. He's around the back there.
All right, sir.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fighting the fight, Pastor, and keeping the faith, seeing despite of what is happening.
Okay.
A lot of the things that I see we are experiencing in this country and the great things that we are looking back and reminiscing about. We need to appreciate in context that the Michael Mann era was Michael Mann with a vision. This era is lack leadership and lack of vision. So whatever way to label it and look back at and talk about it, it's going to show us exactly who had the vision. But the problem that the visionary didn't have those who shared the vision with him. So no matter how much you want to talk about PMP, no matter how much you want to talk about the politics, that's Michael Mann's vision. People didn't share the vision. That's why we are here today experiencing what we're experiencing.
But you know that it's the duty of the visionary to share and teach the vision.
And empower the people.
Why, if you can take from independence 80% illiterate and make 50%, then I'm not quite sure how much more sharing you want.
Okay.
My position is that the so-called members of the group supposed to have enlightened themselves and move forward, which is personal responsibility, which I heard you just mention not so long ago. The man and the Dam and the little argument of putting one and organizing the people thinking of the vision. So it is the same responsibility if you're part of a group or part of whatsoever is working towards. It's your responsibility to know the vision, can reiterate it, and can execute or be part of the machine that executes it. So they have failed. A lot of almost all the PMP members, as far as I'm concerned, are failed that.
So now we're getting to the nitty gritty of it, because one of the things we have to do is not repeat the mistakes of the past insofar as we can. I know this language will be familiar to you. When you are called to discipleship, your commission is to go into the world, teach the nations, make disciples of them using the signs and the tools that are given to you. Your first job is to make a disciple, and a disciple's job is to take in what is being taught and be like your teacher. So when you speak about the group, I mean, Michael Manley was one man. If he had a vision, his duty was to share it. The scripture tells you must write it on tablets. So the messengers can run with it.
And carry it to a far place
Carry it.
because they understand it.
Yeah.
It's all that Moses know.
You see that? Yeah, tablets are not new.
No, it's true, because the guy who came up with Apple says, didn't he write on tablets?
but no, you've touched on such a core thing that we've got to get right. I have a vision. My duty is to make sure I teach it to those who I'm discipling, and I have to make sure that my disciples are true disciples. They're not friends of convenience or opportunity who cling around, come to me or cling to me because I feed them, or Christ had said the people were coming for the bread.
The fish and bread.
The fish and the bread.
And that's
I have
the
to
12 and the 120.
Yeah, I have to get my 12.
Sorry, but he gave them the meat of the message.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tap his body and drink up his blood. How many that I was like, when someone started to say, okay, let me still there.
Somebody turn away at that point in time and gone.
Yeah, because there's some hard talking. Hey, guys, we're touching the center of the issue here. There's some hard talking that has to form a part of the teaching and the discipling. We tend to want to give good news only. We tend to want the feel good, kind of discipling. But
that's the church message preach.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental message of the church, is that it only stops by saying Jesus is Lord, and you need to repent. That's it.
Tough talking. And repentance is not no shortcut, mutter it into your sleeve and get going. No, you have to take responsibility.
Change your way of thinking.
Change your way of thinking and be seen to publicly change your way of thinking. If not, you're not going to see the change or accomplish the gains that we're trying to accomplish.
So maybe we need to spend time teaching people to be responsible.
Right.
My brother, that's why no matter how hard it is on this program, when you speak with us, when you speak with me, I am doing my level best to get the point across. So when you leave, you are edified and you can make a change as much as. And I leave myself open. My heart is really open to learn and to be blessed by what is being said to me, so that if I didn't communicate it right the first time, the next time. Because until everybody when I say everybody, there's a critical mass. Until you get that across, you'll have a good vision and it fails on execution. You might execute it right this time, but nobody did the handover. The transfer of knowledge didn't take place, so it popped down in the next season.
Maybe it's also before it's time. Like we're not.
Oh yes, many things, Michael Manley, absolutely, and many of those things were ahead of its time because the people were not there yet. So a lot of my criticism of Michael Manley, yes, I criticize him, is that some of the things became more of a social experiment than a national move, because he was at one level and didn't do the groundwork to bring the people to a point where they could meet him and truly work the vision. Leadership come with some real hard responsibilities.
They did send back that message 1918, and that wasn't based upon Mr. Seaga's popularity with them.
Yes,
they sent back a message 1980, as far as I'm concerned, was a message sent back to Michael.
The rejection of
because I just say, did not put the kind of structure in place to ensure. And what is funny now, I hear people want to make the Prime Minister after that era national hero.
And what this is, because he created a lot of institution, but he gave them no power. So there's no big deal about creating the institution. It's about letting the institution be relevant and have the authority and have the power to execute standards, to maintain and bring the nation up to the standard.
Yeah, because I think if we talk about
taking money like what the present Minister of Finance is doing, dropping around monies and come and talk about, you can get like almost like children trying to suck to a lollipop.
Yes.
I never heard it said. That's a good way.
Yeah.
It's like sucking a lollipop.
I tell you, man.
Yes, I have $12 billion for you if you'll take it.
Well, sister, any day we take that away, so you know what.
Well, it soon spill out because at least one person has said this is not what we were looking for. And already somebody sent me a note to say, when you calculate it, the teachers only get $100 more per day. $100 can't even be bus fare.
But think about it. If you, for instance, for an example, you earn $100,000 and I decide to unemploy you. And take your $100,000 and split it between 3 persons, $30,000 each. All I can say, boy, we have employed more people.
But there's no real.
That's what you call manipulation of figures. And then we talk about, yes, I've increased employment in my company. And when I talk about, we decide the professional now, and you have the amateur, them, we have not trained and I spend the money to train them. But the service is crap. Customer service is almost zero in Jamaica.
Yeah, and you have created 3 highly stressed individuals in your business now because the 30,000 not going to give them anything to live by, and they're frustrated in creating value because they're not equipped to create value.
We're the voice of the teachers and the police and the fire.
And the immigration officers and the doctors and even the judiciary people, the judges upset, the clerks upset. We're not doing right by our people.
Well, then when the truth of it, it's time now you say we need to call them up to the standard. That's the bottom line.
Yes.
They just standard and we need to call them up to it. What I really call you about was
you mean that wasn't it?
Talk quickly. You jump onto the other man thing. Talk. We have another caller waiting. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, no, well, no, like I can't call that time. No big deal, man. If you have to
just mention it.
Just mention it there so we can make a note.
It's just really we own the land. And what I want to have brought out the whole concept that once, as I say, we need to make the people understand the truth of where we stand as a nation. Because every land that we get a title, that we build a house upon, is crown land. So we need, and it goes right across the so-called former empire, which is still subtle empire, because they control the lands and the wealth of all these so-called colonies. No matter how we control governance, we're a republic, yes, we want to go as farmer, where we want to go. The bottom line is that if and when they have the force and they want to come back for their lands, they own it. Which vote we enter in now? Privy Council? You lose. Because your constitution says that already. Oh, what you come to fight about? Because it's already crown land. It belongs to her. You're just a lease or a holder.
Just an occupant.
So we go back to the same thing in Cuba.
So you gotta stand in your position of ownership.
Same thing in Cuba, where America wants to shut down Guantanamo Bay. It's not owned by the Americans, but the long and short, they still exercise their imperialist power because they have the artillery and they have the economic power to keep oppressing, suppressing, and marginalizing all the other nations, especially Canada.
All right.
We have to go come back with that one.
That one too big for a short discussion.
So, all right, call back.
We need to take the other caller. Thank you.
Morning, caller. Welcome. Thanks for holding.
I have a family living in a house, and the family employs someone to come do our work, right? And that one come in and start to do as he or she like, and the family can't do nothing about it. Remember, you employ them, at the same time you can't do nothing about it. I wonder now what the mindset of the family to make them can't do nothing about it. I'm thinking that well then that me say family have some let me say no, they are divided amongst themselves or them just stupid where them just stupid or they are divided amongst themselves, you know.
Or they don't understand the power that they have. They have not been educated in the power that they have. And the second point is unity is strength. Because when people come together to begin to act together, unified around a simple vision, then they can act against anybody. I've seen it happen so many times in so many situations. So that's what it is.
But you can lose your authority because you have misbehaved in such a way that you yourself know that you can't exercise your authority. So when you speak about an employee not being or an employer not being able to control the actions or influence the actions of an employee, my first thought would be that somehow the employer has lost their authority. What bring about that loss? Sometimes you have someone working in your house who compromise or undermine the effectiveness of one or both of the employers because some improper or abusive relationship took place. What kind of situation are you talking about? Is this an ethical conundrum that you're giving us, or there's a real situation that you're thinking about?
I'm thinking about the situation of Jamaica, probably even the world, I could say. Because you said this is going everywhere in the world on a levels, you know. But me talk about Jamaica, you know, because these people are employed by us.
Okay.
You know, and them are do some things that just not make no sense. And you know, all our teachers and police, all of them are not PMP and all of them are not JP.
But you see, Wayne, when you put it like that now, if you're talking about the relationship between a country, the citizens of a country and its leaders, that's not an ordinary employment contract. That employment contract don't have a clause in it that say, warn him once, warn him twice, put him out on the third go. Employment contracts have their peculiar terms based on the services being provided and the kind of relationship that underpins it. These leaders whom we appoint, we give them the authority, we appoint and delegate to them the authority that we have over our own affairs. You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So it's not that you've lost control over them. It is that you gave them the control.
You have ceded your authority.
You have ceded your authority
to them.
And you gave them the control over your affairs in a context where you didn't put in the kind of clause that will allow you to just take it back without more. So when we talk about constitutional reform, that's what we're saying. We're saying the authority I delegate to you to do things on my behalf, this is how it needs to be exercised and run. And when it is time for me to hold you accountable, here's how I'm going to treat you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
at first, I thought it was a domestic worker in a house.
No, man. I know he was talking about us as a country.
Yeah. Me just simplify it in that form, you know.
Yeah.
Something near I've always heard from a little bit ago says that anywhere the civil servant vote mostly is that party win. Yeah, you ever hear not like that before?
We've heard it, especially with the teachers.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Which one? Whichever a group of civil servants. Yes, the police and teachers.
Yeah. Side with that party normally wins.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right then. Thanks, Wayne. Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding.
Like I say, I shall return.
All right then.
All right, a piece of history. I want you to get Beverly Manley. You see that lady?
Yes.
There was a lot of history on their belt. Just wanted. I remember Michael Manley had the people eating out of him, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was standing there in the crowd and him going for a break, and Beverly same day there walk up and down and say, but I tell them everything I know now. What me can't tell them. Beverly get up and say, why don't you tell them that you'll give them free?
Free education. Yes, that's in her.
Yeah, he opened me and say, what you just say? He said, oh my God, he said, just go and tell them. We'll work it out. Free education came. A lot of people.
Tell me now, what for you is the significance of those details? Was it his idea? Was it her idea?
No, it was. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said. Remember, I said get Beverly Manley because it was Michael's idea, but Michael used it. It's to show you that even a small man on the ground can have an idea.
Well, she was no small woman on the ground.
No. And in being, woman and man being, human being.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, yeah, and she did far. But I wanted to get an interview with her. I'm begging you, go get Bev. I make Bev tell you some things. What Jamaica got through, that no fun way. They attack, no. I sit down with her, I'm a listener good. Powerful woman, good woman, Mr. Selector, jamming in the name of the Lord.
Jamming in that's
the modulation. There's a song by the modulation that really, really rough out there. Rough, really, really rough. Just go for the album. It name the modulations. The album name really, really rough. The first selection on it name really, really rough. People for listen to words, not just listen to the words of the song. It's rough, Miss Minute. It's rough, Pastor. It's rough, Mr. Lawrence. It's rough to everybody. And when I emphasize rough, I mean a little rough like the dog. Rough. It's rough.
Yes,
anyway, I take my leave again.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Remember, Beverly Manley have a lot to tell the nation. Right? She have a lot.
Yes, sir. I have to complete watching her.
Yes, man. You're watching it.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you will see where
So I have a sense of what you're talking about.
Woman is the mother of the nation, and I don't want a man put on a woman. This is the creature that to come. She do the tomorrow. Everything I wrote, I one couldn't wait till the button pass,
Yeah.
Greed like the hungry dog. Looking at the water, the reflection of the moon. And when the pastor,
and it's just an illusion.
Jumping at the water and drowning himself. Yes.
And when I'm opening my mouth, just show the reflection, showing the bone, like I think expand, as in bigger. I see a bone in my mouth,
We know the story well.
At the water.
Yeah.
The button, the button. If the button had passed the way it should, wouldn't be in this predicament. Listen, yeah?
True.
Okay. Hello.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, I was here before, but I got cut off twice.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Cruz, we never heard. We were saying hello.
I don't know. I didn't touch anything.
Well, it's not we. It's not we. Go ahead, Cruz.
But here, there's the argument that this guy spoke just now. There was some secret that you have to keep in the family. Not everything is supposed to talk out like Damian Crawford. Damian Crawford would be a good leader, but he have to learn to keep some secret. Secrets are kept in many places. Anyway.
Yeah, never see the light of day in no documentary.
Michael Manley was not rejected by Jamaicans in the 1980 election. He was rejected by the capitalist people of this country and Europe and United States. The PNP got majority of the vote in 1980 election. Maybe you didn't understand that. Michael Manley was not rejected by Jamaican people.
So those capitalists were not Jamaicans?
Sure.
So what you mean? So what you mean? Why are you saying he was not rejected by Jamaicans? Whether it's big Jamaicans or small Jamaicans. And that's one of the things we got to get over. That we have to see ourselves as one.
There was a plot to get rid of him because the United States said they didn't want another Cuba.
We know that. And the influence of the U.S. continues to be strong.
And I am one of Michael Manley. Hear this. Yeah. I am one of Michael Manley tablets.
Written. So hold on, man. You know what the scriptures say about what's written on the tablet? the heralds need to run with it so people can see it and implement it. So what's happening? What is happening with your implementation?
That's why I'm always talking about Michael Manley and what he did in the past. And I teach my son, so he teach his son and his grandson.
But you understand that it's not just a matter of talking about it. Well, I guess you say you teach. Teach has a practical element to it as well.
Miss Minute.
Yes, sir.
Poor people like me cannot get up and get anything done. We have to have a leader. We need a leader. And leader just don't come every day. Leadership is not in everyone.
Yes.
You know, you have to get opportunity to lead, like some of the heroes that died, Michael Manley and those type of people, Malcolm X. Leader you don't just create leader. They were born with a certain gift.
And you don't believe you're a leader?
I am a leader, but not like those names that I just called. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I was watching, I had a thing against Craig Butler. I thought he was arrogant. He is arrogant. But there's another side of him that I saw on TV last night. I kind of forgive him to some of the things he do and say, but he's still arrogant. He needs to tone down. But that guy went through a lot of things. He's helping, yes, a lot of people, but he's doing it kind of too tough. It can't be too tough all the time. You watch it last night on TV?
No, I did not.
Which one of them?
Craig Butler, the man was on TV crying like a little child.
I mean, because of Phoenix?
No, his life story. He was talking about his life.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. Because I think he's presently battling some cancer.
Yes. And the other thing I want to say now, with the banks in the United States, you don't have a president where the two banks have problems come out and begging his people, talking his people to tell them that everything will be nice. A president of the United States come out talking, convincing his people that, everything will be okay. Look, China and Russia and India, I've been seeing that for the past how many years, come right down to last year, what is going to happen to the US dollar. Do you think that's what's going on? Are you hearing me?
Well, as you talk about that cruise, some people say it probably might be the end of the
reign of the dollar
in the world. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I personally does not take US dollar from a long time. When I was in Cayman in the 2000s, I don't spend US dollar. I don't collect it. So I don't have a US account, which I don't have the money to have anyway. But I hope the day come when that dollar die.
This is a good note on which to take the 9:30 break. Thank you, Cruz.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Cool. Managed to say, I don't have.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
It's coming back on us. Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Best 100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm. Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Ocean Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Mal Jam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Mal Jam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Need a package delivered? Give via Express Courier and Shipping a call. We have secure and efficient island-wide delivery at competitive rates. Same day and next day delivery are also available with 32 pickup and drop-off locations island-wide. We offer the most accessible courier services. Contact us now at 876-499-2621 or 876-499-2554 or visit our website at myviaexpress.com or visit one of our 32 locations across the island. Choose Via Express Courier and Shipping for your everyday and island-wide shipping.
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show, Lascelles Butch Chen, on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined, educate, and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back and good morning to the caller who's holding. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Turn off your radio.
Okay.
All right, are you hearing us now? Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Africa Love, good morning.
Ah, it's so good to hear your voice, Russ Kremlin. Good morning.
Russ Kremlin.
How are you?
I'm still, trying to overcome my tribulation,
Yes. Well.
We just ease up, but we still look in the programs,
And you know that battles are okay.
Right, and
defeat is not.
One thing with the Morning Connection is that you have some lovely callers.
Count yourself amongst them.
Right. But, I'm saying this now.
Yes.
At what year did the moon or reservoir built?
Is that one from in the 60s? Did you research it?
Yeah, from in the 60s.
Yeah.
And at that time, Jamaica population was Possibly about 2 million, 2 point something million.
In the 60s? No, man, less than that.
Less than that.
Oh, yes.
And even when that reservoir has been built, it couldn't facilitate the people in Jamaica.
Not at all, because it would only be for those within a reasonable distance of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it's the same reservoir we have now in comparison to our population now.
Yeah, and while yes, you wouldn't necessarily expect them to increase the size of it, but you need more, and you need yeah.
You need about 5 more to facilitate the population today.
And even if it's not surface storage like that, you still need to have wells and aquifers and home storage. 1946.
1946.
Yeah.
All right, that's something to think about.
Yes.
We have now being 61 years old, where independence is concerned. Right? And we have always voted for the party we desire. Right?
Yes.
In my experience, that none of these parties are really operating within the majority of the people. Majority of the people in Jamaica is poor people. Right?
Yes.
And sometimes he say, who we really vote for? We vote for crime. Although we vote to say we want betterment for the country and the people. But our experience from the administration of both parties is crime, robbery, murder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let me tell you something now. Can the people in Jamaica, why they can't see these things and realize that they are the government? And even when you vote for a party, and you give the party 1 year or a year and a half, and you say, it now benefits the majority of the people in Jamaica. Why the people just don't get up and say, yeah, man, I'm going to vote for this. Election now. Because you're not perform or you perform. Right?
But you see, yeah, man, we understand, and much of what we're talking about is really how responsive can the governance structure be to the urgency of the people's needs. We have a structure in place, and it has 5 years for general elections. It have its own cycle for local government. We see that is obviously a challenge. We have constitutional safeguards and boundaries that determine how we can move in this situation or that. If things happen in the country that push people to the point of wanting to do away with those structures and break whatever laws contain us, it means we're having civil upset, or you're going to have riots, and you're going to have the state pushing back, because law and order has a meaning. It is never the case in the absence of military coups and the like, that people in a democratic society just get up and say, let's break this rule and move this here and move that there. No, it always requires some sort of rebellion or great resistance within the structure for it to just erupt into a whole new thing.
But the people, them have a constitutional right system in it.
Yes.
To move any government.
Yes, but that right isn't exercised in a free-for-all.
Right.
Yeah, it's organized.
Yes, and put in place a government that benefit the country and the people. But we keep lagging on, like we say, well, I gotta go change it. So, we are the change. We the people are the change.
That's accepted.
No, look now. When it comes to these two parties, I hear Emerging talking about certain and Carl Bob Marley thing with some gunshot thing and Peter Touch thing there. On Green Bay. Look at Green Bay. With Guto Thompson, Jamaica, one of Jamaica's greatest footballer. Where is that kid? And these men were invited by a party to come collect gun. And when the man go for the gun, they murder the man them. You know, there are a lot of things going on in Jamaica where people may vex with me now. But someday the people will come to the reality that all the wrongs that is going on coming through party politics, the people is responsible. Because the people have that constitutional right to replace any government and put a government in authority will benefit the majority of the country. They have that right. We're not going to talk about burn down place and black road. And we just go decently at the parliament when it calls. And when they move through them, we them say around 20,000 out there with black cards. And what this thing got? Not even a buckle of a brook. Just the right words to them give them the right message. Understand me? And this is the responsibility of the people because they are the government. They have that right. And they can make several announcements before they even go to parliament. Call the program and like this and say, this is our decision now. We need this change. And we expect that when we come there, we not come in no violence and we not burn the tire and we not block the road. Right? If we block the road, are the people, the support,
are the people,
are the gathering of the people.
In simple white, we just appearing in white. We are peaceful. 20,000 come. Right. Yeah, no party colors or nothing. This is just Jamaicans who are interested in the well-being of our people and moving forward.
Right.
Sounds good.
Let me not stay along, you know, because I'm still in my problem, you know.
All right, then.
So, go on, big up the program, big up BSFM, you know.
All right, Ross Kremlin.
Producer, and Bongo person, one love, big time.
Keep
all
it
right.
safe.
And do we have any more?
Morning.
Good morning. You're our last caller, so.
Morning again, no problem.
Yes, Africa.
The only right we should get from the PNP and the JLP is to vote for them. No other rights to negotiate. We do have our constitution to itself. We could go on the world stage, look. Cuba. The Caribbean go to Cuba the other day. We get any information on what?
I mean Haiti.
Haiti.
We went to Haiti. No, we don't get back anything, yeah? We haven't heard anything from the CARICOM delegation that went to Haiti recently. We haven't heard anything. You heard anything, Minute?
No.
We haven't heard anything. No.
No one asked any information on what takes place there?
No, that's an important thing. It just kind of sipped us because we had spoken about it. And some people are saying our Prime Minister who led the delegation couldn't really go because he had local government that him never called. So, yeah, we haven't heard anything from that as yet, African. So it's something for us to follow up on. No public. Yeah. All right.
Up to come on now.
Yeah.
Biden. I'm going to dig up the article now.
I'm going to dig up the. Oh, you mean in Alaska? He's given the right for the people to mine for oil there. Yeah.
A same place.
Well, Alaska is a 50 what? The 58. What is it? State?
It's part of the federal.
It's part of the U.S. state. Yeah.
I think after the environment issue we have right now, you think things should do that?
I don't know the environmental pros and cons with it, African, but I tend to at this point, just like how when they try to comment on commercial and issues that touch and affect Jamaica's economy, I tell them to mind their own business. I don't go as far as to look into, what they're doing, even though some of the things that are done affect the ecology globally. Still, if it were up to me, all of mankind would be looking at less aggressive ways to address matters of the environment, simply because I know that we have practiced abusive policies for so long that it must be time for us to be considering different ways to do things, so that we don't find that the land gets its jubilee and we suffer.
As a result,
When the land is given its rest, man can't take nothing off of it. More
This
than
is a world issue, you know.
yes, it is, but there are so many more proximate Jamaican issues that need our attention that in the final minutes of the show, I don't want to spend too much time speculating.
We can talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can touch it on another morning, because we're wrapping up now.
All right,
But you know, I do
Allah,
talk to you, so.
Allah for gun control. What that mean?
Where, in America?
Yeah.
It won't get far,
It won't get
because
far.
they
It's in their constitution,
Yeah.
the Second Amendment, right
yeah,
to bear
the right
arms
to bear arms is sacred.
for them.
Well, by the time never sign that, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's
You must sign a lot of things, you.
yeah,
as he should. That is what the leader of a country need to do. To step
sign.
into it and do the things that you believe will make a difference, or that you hope will make a difference.
right.
But we're gonna run and leave you now, African. We're getting the signal. And we have music to play.
All right.
All right, my brother. Thank you. To those on air and online, thank you so much for participating. Conrad, we're indebted to you for that lawsuit information, which we expect to hear more of it in the days to come. Mr. Producer, Mr. Engineer, thank you both. Pastor Percival, thanks for journeying with us this morning.
When tomorrow we pray, we're gonna be praying about certain things. But this thing of water and drought, we're gonna talk about that. Like, I hope we can pray about it, because we need the water.
Yes, we do, but we need the lessons even more.
That's what we're saying. Yeah.
All right.